Hey grade 1, welcome to science. We're going to be doing chapter 12, lesson 3, which is talking about what tools can you use to make dinner. So like we always do, we're going to answer the first 3 questions on this page before we read our chapter. So question 1 here says different tools do different jobs. Is that true or not true? Number 2 says you can use scissors to cut things. Is that true or not true? And the final question is, a knife is used to stir things. Is that true or not true? So reminder to pause me whenever you need to. I know this goes by quickly, but it's perfect because you can rewind, fast forward, and pause. Alright, so we're going to be working on lesson 3, as we know, in our book. So here it says, what tools can you use to make dinner? Alright, so people use tools to make work easier. Each tool helps to do a different job. Only use a knife or scissors when an older person can help you. So you need to know this, right? Unless you have your kids' safety scissors, you should not be using scissors without mom and dad permission or them helping you. So here it shows us a big counter. So I'm going to kind of go around the counter and we're going to talk about it. So I see 2 words that say cut, cut. So it says that the scissors can help you cut tortillas for chips. So I think they're doing a kind of a Mexican meal. Maybe they're doing tacos or having Mexican night or something like that, which would be so yummy. So what they would do is use those scissors or those knives to help to cut the tortilla chips. On the side of it, it says a grater can help you cut cheese into small pieces. So cheese grater. So you can it helps you cut up the cheese and grate it so it's nice and small and you can spread it on nicely. Beside it, there's a blue measuring cup. It says a measuring cup can help you get the right amount of cheese. So you're able to look at the labels on the side, and those labels will tell you how much cheese is in there. So that you can use it by cups, they can use it by ounces. There's lots of different ways that you can measure. And we can see there's also some utensils. We have our forks and our knives and our spoons, some plates, some napkins. There's some more food, and if we go across the counter, that goes on to page 349. Here we see it says a knife can help cut corn from the cob. So sometimes corn from the cob can be really messy, and some of you have lost so many teeth that you might not be able to eat it. So a good way to do that would be to cut it off. But in order to do that, you need a really sharp knife. And then on the side here, we have another one that says a strainer can help you dry the wet lettuce. So we don't want to eat lettuce when it's super wet. We want to make sure it's nice and dry, but we have to wet it to clean it, to make sure that it's good for us. So that strainer helps to get all the water out of the lettuce. And then that final little arrow here, it says a big spoon can help you stir the salsa. So that spoon is really big that it can help really stir around and get all the way down without getting your hands messy. It's wonderful. Then up above here it says, what other tools might you use to make tacos and salsa for dinner? So I want you to think, what else might you need that we don't have on this table? Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the next page, and it might give us some more. So here it says serving dinner. So we did the making dinner first. Now we're doing the serving of the dinner. So it is dinner time. So what tools do you need to serve the tacos and the salsa? So it's showing us here on this beautifully designed table. It says a large spoon can help you lift the meat. So all the meat that's in that pan, you're going to use that spoon to help get a nice measurement for that. Okay? Here it says tongs can help you pick up the lettuce. All right? So those tongs, if you can see with the lettuce, they help you pick up the lettuce without squishing it. I see some spoons in the salsa. I see some spoons in the cheese. I think that might be rice over there. I could be wrong, but we'll go with that. And then up here on page 351 at the top, it says, always have an older person help you when something is hot. A trivet keeps the hot pot from burning the table. So a trivet is often made out of something called cork. It could be ceramic. There's a bunch of different ones you can get. The ones that I use at home are often cork ones. And what we do is when the pot is hot, we'll put it on there so it doesn't if you have a tablecloth, it doesn't melt the tablecloth, it doesn't burn anything, and it helps protect the table or the tablecloth from getting burned. Over beside it, you see a ladle. So a ladle is a big, deep spoon, and the ladle can help you get some of that salsa. So it's nice and deep, which means you can get a lot of salsa, which is nice. And then our last little picture here, we have our tortillas. And it says a spatula can help you lift the hot tortillas off the pan. So you don't have to use your hands. Number one, using that spatula, it's more sanitary, which is good. But it also it'll prevent you from burning your hands or getting your hands a little sore from touching it. All right, so there's lots of different objects and tools that we use within the kitchen to help. Some of them you might know the names of. There could be more that you use, and I'd be very interested to know what other ones you use if you bake or you cook with your parents. But this is an example for our taco and salsa dinner. Okay, so now you need to go back to this page. If you don't have it printed, that's okay. Just write number 1, 2, and 3. You don't have to write the sentences. And we're going to do the same 3 questions that we already did, but now we're going to know all the answers because we're even more of a genius now, right? All right, so question number 1 says, different tools do different jobs. Is that true or not true? Number 2 says, you can use scissors to cut things. Is that true or not true? And then your very last question again is number 3, a knife is used to stir things. Is that true or not true? Alrighty, and we're on our final sheet for science here, okay? So just kind of like all of our other sheets, this is what we have. We have our word bank at the top, which comprises of 4 words, which are make, spoon, serve, and work. So each of these words are only going to be used once. So question number 1, it says, with tools, it is easier to do blank. Number 2 says, a blank is a kind of tool. Number 3 says you can use many tools to blank a meal for your family. And number 4 says you use different tools to help you blank a meal. So now we have our section, which is alike and different. So we're talking about what are similarities and some differences, okay? So number 5 here says that we're going to write how the tools below are alike and different. So there's 4 little options here. So you can just draw a line or you can write inside of it, the box. So we have our spoon and our fork, and we have that it is a tool, is sharp, is not sharp, and used to eat with. All right? So try to figure out which ones go where. You can always draw a line like you always do, or you can write inside our similarities and differences with these utensils that we use. So that is science for this section. I think you all did a wonderful job. I know some of this stuff seems to be a little bit easier, some of it gets a little harder. It's always good to know this piece though, because we do it every single day, so that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you are done your science once you finish these 2 sheets. And I thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, grade 1. Thank you. Bye.